my name is Regan Berry, and I am the small business owner of a company called New Star South. I am based right here in Versailles, Kentucky. I have been in business as a true business for 6 years, but I really began 11 years ago. 11 years ago, my husband and I decided that we were going to adopt our son. And as many of you know who are familiar with the adoption process, the cost of adopting a child is pretty high. So at the time, he was a pastor at a church in Eastern Kentucky, and I was a stay-at-home mom, and I thought, I need to find a way to make money because I need to help pay for this adoption. And at that time, I had never made a single thing in my entire life, and so I just turned on YouTube and I started making infinity scarves. I learned how to sew from YouTube, and I started making scarves. And so that went on for a couple of years where I was making just anything I could think of, anything I could find off Pinterest. I was making it and selling it and taking it to vendor fairs, all to pay for the adoptions. Then about 6 years ago, after we had completed 2 adoptions and we had paid for all of that, I began to do this as more of a full-time job. This shop is called Green Street Gifts. It is a collection of artists, makers, collectors, and we're able to come in here, rent a small space where we can feature our items. I named my business New Star South, and the reason that I named it that is because at the time I had 3 children. My oldest name is Stella, and Stella means star, and then my second child, his name is Addis, and that means new, and then Kona means south, my third daughter. And so based on the meanings of their name, I came up with New Star South. When I think about challenges for small business owners, I can think of 2 things. The first one is organizing your time. That's always a struggle when you're a small business owner because when you're your own boss, you don't have any boundaries. So it's very hard to prioritize your life because your work is your life. There's no boundary there. And so that's always been a challenge for me, is to keep my business organized and my home life organized. And I think the second issue of a small business is competing with some of your big box stores, because you might have something that's similar to something you could get at a big box store, and you have to find a way to engage your audience so that they want to come to you and to make that local purchase, even though potentially it could be a little more expensive or a little bit harder to access. The goal is to get people to shop locally, to keep their funds in their community, instead of taking the easy option, which is going to a box store and buying something there.